again. This is Patrick. I proceeded to get 4 more traffic tickets, and my pickup got impounded, stolen from me again. I had a junking certificate against the vehicle that was signed over to me. So that basically was supposed to have taken it out of their system, but it is still showing up in their system because I haven't claimed the residue and closed down the certificate of title entirely. That's no big deal. It will be taken care of. The tickets basically were written against a dead fiction. There again, those I had surrendered those into the Department of Transportation and ordered them to be settled. But I'm coming back with new items that are called a death certificate, a surety of state death certificate. Our certificates are sureties, and they are an estate. Okay, not a trust, they are an estate. Okay? I wish people would get away from the usage of that trust. There is no trust in this country. That's a fallacy. Okay? To keep you totally off guard using the wrong terminology. These are estates. And when you turn 25, you became a U.S. That's all just one word. U.S. That's us. It stands for we the people. You are a representative of man. And to be a representative of man, you have to be a free, unbonded person. And the only way that you can do that is to lose your last name, middle and last name. In law, you can only have a first name in law as a Christian name. Watch the movie The Merchant of Venice. There is so much stuff in that trial that people do not comprehend. They cannot take from the living man if he's operating as a Christian with one name. Per the Bible, this goes all the way back to Adam and Eve. Stop thinking about that Bible as a religious book. It's a book of law. Okay? It's recorded law. I've told people that basically Leviticus is all about bankruptcy. Look at it, chapter 13, chapter 7, chapter 11. They all correspond to the bankruptcy codes that we have out here. How come there's no chapter 9? How come there's no chapter 10? Because basically there is nothing that would apply to a bankruptcy in chapter 10 or chapter 9 of the book of Leviticus. There's no chapter 1, 2, 3. Come on, people, wake up. All the U.S. codes, U.S. codes, are basically probate codes. Look up the definition of probate code in Ballantyne's dictionary. You will see it corresponds directly to these codes that they're writing out there. These codes are against the dead. A probate code against the dead. Title 46 is a big probate code for coming out of the system. It talks about it, the age of 25. The Constitution talks about the age of 25, when a man becomes a representative at the age of 25. That's when he becomes a free man. become a U.S. representative, not a U.S. representative, because U.S. is a brand that they put on horses and mules in the cavalry. They do the same thing U.S. representative and senators and judges and everything else. They have them branded on their butt. They are now a corporate mule. Most cases, a jackass. Because they don't know what's really going on. You have to come out, you have to get out here and really rock the boat. But rock the boat in humor, in honor. I had a good time there. Basically, I talked my head off with the highway patrolman. The whole damn time he was writing out 4 tickets. I talked on the phone to a couple people, basically explaining that basically this highway patrolman was totally wrong. I talked to him before about this. He has a license number. And he wrote the stuff up. I can turn around and put a probate charge against his licensing certificate under probate code title 40 or 18 USC 242. Also against 42 USC 1983. I can do the same thing with the license, the probated license, or the probate license for the towing company, and put a charge in against them in probate. I can order the death certificate against their license and bring it into probate. That is what we have to do. It's all about probate out here. You are registered with a first, middle, and last name in most all cases. But in all cases, you have a last name. So your fictional person is essentially dead. So he's in probate. All these licenses and certificates are basically sureties. We, the living, are supposed to be the insured or the protected. But they have been keeping us from the assets of that surety certificate. Because we did not come in and demand the death certificate against that certificate. We declare it dead in their world of the dead. Only a man of law who is alive, not alive, but living, as a representative can declare a death of a fiction. When you declare the death of the fiction, then he has to be settled, and then you can pull him out and resurrect him into the world of the living. Forget all this other stuff that people are running around out here. I hate to say this, but they're wrong. It's all about probate. And you have a dead fiction person. You have to lose your last name and stand as the living, especially in this country, as the living land of the United States of America. You are not the dead. You are not planted in some residential address. you have a post rule box number or a post office box number. That is the post of life box, not the postal death box residential address. The postal system has come into this country and by using the mails has defrauded the people of this country. Start checking it out through the postal system, through the mail system. U.S. stands for us. U.S. stands for United States corporate jackasses. Stubborn dead mules. Okay? Now, to get out of this system, I posted several items up there, like a surety death certificate. You can verify this by going into the Iowa Department of Transportation to get a junking certificate. And it says right in there, a junking certificate is a death certificate for the vehicle. Well, if it's for a vehicle, it can be used for any other certificate out there. You basically junk out and look up the term junk in basically Ballantyne's Law Dictionary. It's a nautical term. You bring it out of the sea of commercial commerce and bring it ashore onto the land, into the living world. You junk it out. They have to then take that into probate and bring it into settlement. I have a federal court case right now that is in process. I'm putting these other documents, these traffic tickets and everything else back in to the court system. I will be filing them into the federal. If they do not comply, I will file probate charges against their license and their certificates. I will declare that highway patrolman's license dead. Therefore, he can no longer operate while that license is in a state of deadness. The same thing with that towing company. I can go back after the court, the last judge that I had, the prosecutor, all under fraud. The probation department, the Department of Transportation, because they deprived us of our surety, or me of my surety, when I was trying to order it up. Right now, I can probably take out about 3 or 4 judges, 3 or 4 county attorneys, several deputies, sheriff's deputies, highway patrol, at least 2 towing services, all by going after their licenses or their certificates of operation and put a death certificate in against those documents. This is what you need to start waking up to. It's all about probate. Look at the documents I have up there. Look at the court case I filed with the United States Administrative Office of Courts The judge, Thomas Hogan, is an Article 3 judge. He basically redirected that under Title 28 U.S.C. 1491 back to my local district court to bring about the settlement. They came and they did a Simon Says. You need to understand the game Simon Says. In their request, they had all their forms for a civil case. But on the sheet, the requesting sheet, they said, please comply with paying $350 or fill out the I am dead broke forms. Please comply. It did not say comply, it said please. That's a Simon Says. You do that. In court, if the judge says sit down, he didn't say please, so it's not a Simon Says, and you can rebuke that. But if you sit down, then you just came under his control. You lost the game of Simon Says. You have the right of rebuttal to rebuke anything out there. You have a right to correct a mistake. You are the living. But to be the living, you are going to have to lose your middle and last name and stand in court as a living Christian, or one who has just one name per the Bible. I strongly recommend you watch the movie The Postman. It was taking place right here in the year 2013. Also, watch the latest version with Al Pacino for The Merchant of Venice. Learn who the Jew is. The Jew is not a religious organization. It is the money changers. It is the governmental. It is the scribes, the Pharisees, everybody that the man threw out of a temple 2,000 years ago. The jewelry. The deceivers. And that goes all the way back to the Pharaohs and everybody else. Babylonian times. The first Babylon. I'm trying to help you guys, okay? But you're going to have to help yourself a little here by getting the knowledge and understanding. I put the forms up there. You can modify those forms. You best understand what you're doing. You're supposed to be of age. You're supposed to have the responsibility. Several people were talking about setting up a trust. Which is best? To have a trust or to have an estate? If you have a trust and you want to be all the players in the trust, is that not an estate? It is. But if you bring in some outsider into that trust, even if he only holds something for 5 seconds, he can basically, once he has that control, he can basically take it away from you. Okay? You have just tempted his Lord God in the process. That is a violation of the laws of the Bible. You want your stuff, you take the responsibility and you put it into a private estate. Then the governmental states cannot touch it, period. You keep it private. You don't register it with any state. Nevada, any of these other places. You put it into a state record, and basically you have just opened it up to somebody else's scrutiny. I will try and keep you posted about my exploits, but I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. It's a grand time to live in, if you know what you're doing. And I am getting more and more powerful every day by the knowledge that I'm gaining. Because you can become rich beyond your wildest dreams by having the knowledge. You don't need the wealth. Sure, it'd be nice. But with knowledge and understanding, you can obtain your wealth and basically get your estates that you were supposed to be entitled to at your birth, your inheritance. But if you do not have the knowledge and understanding, you will not be able to get them, and then you will not be able to protect them down the road. I hope you people are starting to wake up. Sorry if this sounds like I am chastising you. But sometimes you have to be chastised to wake up, slapped in the face, to get the blood circulating. Have a good day.